Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about something that I really struggled with, and I suspect many of you struggle with. It's trying to determine what's anxiety and what's real and when do I need to get help. This is a very gray area, but I'm going to do the best that I can to give you a few things that helped me. I'm not promising that these things are going to clear it all up for you, but I just want to share everything that helped me whenever I was going through my panic disorder and my bad health anxiety. It was always this battle back and forth. Should I go to the hospital or should I wait it out? Is this anxiety or is this a life-threatening situation or just a symptom of something else that I should be concerned about? And there was this tug and war, this push and pull, give and take thing that was going on in my mind 24/7, and it was very exhausting. But once I kind of had this little rule system down and something to kind of go by, it started to help me as I got closer to recovery. So I had to figure out a way to be rational whenever my body and mind wanted to be irrational. It wants you to survive, to fight something off, to run away, to get to safety, to get to the hospital, whatever it is, it's trying to get you to survive. So that's why you have all of these spiraling, negative, catastrophizing thoughts, because it's trying to paint to you the worst case scenario to get you off your butt to do something. So I had to find something that could help me analyze the situation, to assess the situation, and make an attempt to be rational. And one of the things that I stumbled across, this is just something that I came up with, guys, and I'm not promising it's going to be 100% effective for you, but I want to share with you everything that I got. I started to think about some of the worst pains that I've been through in my life. I've had horrible abscesses, agonizing pain with that. You can't even sleep. I got like zero sleep for two days pretty much, and a little bit on the third day. Horrible. Basically, you have to wait it out until you can see a dentist, try to get some antibiotics, hope that the pain medication works. It never worked for me whenever I had abscessed teeth. And unfortunately, I'm somebody that even if I take care of my teeth, I just have bad genetics when it comes to that. So I've had that a few times. Horrible pain. I had chronic ear infections as a child all the way up until my early 20s. I've had this eardrum over here burst multiple times. I had to have tubes put in my ears whenever I was little. Those infections led to me having to also get my tonsils removed whenever I was 6. So I dealt with that on and off. I cut my head open one time. I had to get 10 stitches. You could actually see the bone, the skull right here. Luckily, my eyebrow covers up the scar. Blood was everywhere. I had to go to the ER immediately, obviously. I snapped my arm in half playing football. Had to hold it together, and it took hours for me to even get seen. And then they had to set it. They set it wrong, had to reset it again, which involves them pulling everything apart. So I had to hold my arm. So that was very painful. I've been I've had bronchitis, borderline pneumonia a few times. Been really sick quite a few times. And I'm just scraping the surface. I've been through a lot of pain throughout my 34 years here. Okay, so I wanted to go back to the most painful moments and compare them to how I'm feeling right now. Because if I believe that I'm having a medical emergency, right, it's never something mild, right? It's got to be like a heart attack or a stroke or an aneurysm or an embolism or just something horrific, right? That means that we are going to die pretty soon, or some severe aggressive cancer. So I started to compare the way that I feel now with some of those moments. Is this as painful, this chest pain that I'm having? Is it as painful, or whatever symptom you're dealing with, as me snapping my arm in half? No, right? And I know this isn't a perfect system. It's still gray, but I'm just telling you what I would do, and it did help me. And if I realized that I was able to calm down by doing this, and it's like, okay, it's anxiety, right? It's worth a try. Is this as painful as whenever I busted my head open? No. Is this as painful as an abscessed tooth? No. Is this as painful as one of my most horrible ear infections? No. Okay. Wouldn't a heart attack probably feel a little bit worse than this? Physically anyways? Yeah. So what am I dealing with here, honestly? What's the most uncomfortable part of what I'm feeling? Is it the symptoms or is it the fear associated with the symptoms? And then almost every time once I started doing this, guys, it helped de-escalate the situation. It was like, oh my God, I'm afraid of the fear, the unknown, the doom. That's what's really, truly making me feel uncomfortable and escalating these symptoms that are not actually even as technically as painful as some of the most painful things I've dealt with in my life. And I'm not trying to downplay your anxiety. I know anxiety is painful. I know the symptoms are relentless and are scary. But what makes them so uncomfortable, I think, is the fact that they're coupled with fear. I think a lot of you would say that's fair. You couple these symptoms with fear, then that's what escalates everything, and it has this feeling like there must be something wrong. Do you put the catastrophizing and the spiraling, the worst case scenario with some chest pain, even if the chest pain is just moderate, bam, you got yourself a heart attack. If you put spiraling, catastrophizing with a headache, a tension headache, oh my God, stroke, aneurysm. And I can go on and on with coupling certain symptoms to diseases, mixing it with catastrophizing. So that was what was going on with me. And that's what's going on with a lot of you guys is you're having some symptoms and you're coupling it obviously with the fear and the doom that you're having from your anxiety and stress. And it makes us conclude that there must be a medical emergency going on. So that's what I did. And then I would like double back down on the things that I've been in my past. I started to think, was I as scared as I am right now when I broke my arm? Oddly enough, no. Same thing with being borderline septic with my abscess teeth that I had. And that was a really serious situation. One of the most serious situations I've been in my life. Had to go see an emergency dentist. It was bad. So did I have as much fear in that moment as I have right now? Oddly, no. Same thing with my ear infection. Same thing when I busted my head open. Same thing whenever I've gone through a lot of other scary situations, right? Or painful situations. It still did not compare to how I felt, the fear that I had whenever I had panic attacks or anxiety attacks or just sometimes just having bad anxiety about some of these symptoms. Okay? So hopefully that can give you an idea of something that you can go through to help bring you down to a more rational level. For some of you, you may not find this useful, but I want to share everything that I have to you guys whenever I can think of it. Sometimes it's hard for me to think of video ideas these days. Hence why I don't put out as much content lately. I've kind of had a writer's block or whatever you want to call it, video block, trying to come up with new and different ideas and things that I haven't talked about before. But this is a pretty interesting one that I got excited about when I thought of it. And I thought of you guys. And I was like, let's make a video. So briefly, again, go back to some of the most painful moments that you've been in. Does this compare on an actual pain level to those moments? If not, then that means that it's probably anxiety, and there's a lot of fear that goes into that. And then try to compare the amount of fear that you're feeling right now with the most painful moments that you've gone through in your past. And I'm not here to downplay anxiety. I don't want that to be the idea or the way that I'm coming across. And I'm also not trying to say that there's zero fear whenever you're having medical emergencies. Okay, I know you can still be scared whenever you're having a heart attack, or you're scared whenever you're bleeding, or scared whenever you break your arm. Did I have some fear in those moments? Sure, I did. It was scary to see my arm like this, right? Snapped in half. It was scary to see a lot of blood leaving my head. But I was still in a more rational state. It was more like, let's go get help. I know what's going on. There's no doom, really. I just got to get help as quickly as I can, okay? But hopefully you got some value out of this. If you want more help with your anxiety, check out my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. I'm going to put that down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. I'm going to read you another review today. Melody Smith says, the best course I've ever taken. I've been suffering from severe anxiety for 3+ years since my first brain surgery. Thank you so much, Trey, for taking the time and hardworking energy to help those in need. So be a part of that. Check that out. If you want to do coaching calls with me where you can talk to me personally, I have an email down below also in the description and in the first pinned comment. Reach out to me. I'll send you all my info and let's see if we're a good match and we will set up a call. And there's some other social media stuff down there, my Instagram, my TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook groups. Join all those things. If you are new here, please subscribe. If you've been subscribed to the family, please hit the notifications so whenever I do put these videos out, even though there's been some space in between some of them lately, you'll get notified and you won't miss out. But guys, I love you all. And until next time, keep fighting.